At 68, Sandra Walker was told she had a tumor growing in her womb. The doctors prepared her for the worst. They said they had seen this before. They were sure it was cancer. But what they found inside her body wasn't what anyone expected. It wasn't a tumor. They were wrong after 43 years of waiting. Sandra was pregnant. With twins. Listen to this brief backstory. Sandra had lived in Missouri her whole life. Small town. Quiet life. She got married young, 25 years old. Robert was a kind man. A pastor. They both wanted children. Desperately. The first pregnancy came a year later. But it ended in a miscarriage. Then another. And another. Doctors tried everything. Sandra changed her diet. Took medications. They prayed. They waited. And then a stillbirth. A baby girl. Born without breath. At 38, the doctor sat her down and told her the words she never forgot. Your womb can't carry life anymore. I'm sorry. Sandra didn't scream. She didn't cry that day. But every Mother's Day after that, she cried. She smiled at other people's baby showers. She made casseroles and bought gifts. But every time, something inside her broke again. Even so, she never turned bitter. She served in church. She sang in the choir. And every night before bed, she said one short prayer. Lord, if it's not too late, remember me. Life moved on. Robert passed away at 66. And at 68, Sandra thought her body was simply aging. She was tired all the time. Her back ached. Her belly felt tight. She didn't think much of it at first. But when she started bleeding and couldn't keep food down, she went to the clinic. The scans came back, and the doctors didn't waste time. They said there was a large mass inside her uterus. Likely a tumor, one said. Another mentioned the word cancer. She was told to prepare for emergency surgery. But Sandra didn't feel afraid. She didn't know why, but deep inside, she felt something else. Something that didn't make sense. She felt life. The night before her surgery, a younger doctor reviewed her scan. He tilted his head, took a closer look. Then he asked for a different machine, one with better sound. He placed the probe on Sandra's belly and paused. He adjusted the volume, listened again. Then his hand began to shake. He turned to the nurse. I think I hear a heartbeat. Then, wait, I hear two. The surgery was canceled. Sandra was rushed for further tests. More scans. More ears listening. And all of them heard the same thing. Two tiny heartbeats. There was no tumor. Sandra Walker was pregnant. With twins. At 68 years old. After 43 years of silence. No one had an explanation. But Sandra didn't ask for one. She just whispered, "Thank you, Jesus." News spread like wildfire. Missouri grandmother pregnant with twins. Some called it a miracle. Others called it fake. She was interviewed by TV stations. Bloggers said it was a hoax. Doctors from other states doubted the scans. Social media was brutal. She's too old. This can't be real. Someone is staging this. But Sandra stayed calm. She didn't argue. She didn't defend herself. She just kept praying and preparing. When someone asked her if she was scared, she smiled and said, "I've waited 43 years for this moment. No negativity can steal my joy now." At 34 weeks, the doctors decided it was time. A special team was brought in. No one knew what to expect. Her age, her blood pressure, the baby's size. It was risky. Sandra was quiet as they wheeled her into the operating room. She held a small cross in her hand and closed her eyes. The first cry came 6 minutes later. Then another. Two tiny babies. A boy and a girl. Isaac and Joy. They were born healthy. Breathing. Moving. Beautiful. The room went quiet for a moment. Then someone began to clap. Tears rolled down the eyes of nurses who'd seen everything except this. The news changed overnight. Outrage turned to wonder. The same people who doubted her now praised her strength. Donations came from across the country. A women's group gifted her a new home. Her story was shared in churches, hospitals, even schools. Doctors still couldn't explain it. Her womb had been considered inactive. No fertility treatment. No IVF. Nothing. But Sandra wasn't interested in medical debates. She was busy rocking her babies to sleep, feeding them, singing lullabies. "I don't need to understand it," she said. "I just need to be their mother." Someone once asked Sandra what lesson she would want the world to learn from her story. She said, "Don't give up. If it's meant to happen, no time, no doctor, no diagnosis can stop it. Miracles don't run on our clocks." Now 70, She spends her mornings walking the babies in their stroller. Neighbors often wave and stop to play with them. Sometimes she catches strangers just staring, not in judgment, but in amazement. She doesn't mind. She knows what it took to get here. Hope doesn't expire. It doesn't age. And sometimes it waits. For 43 years. But when it finally arrives, it comes with tiny fingers, tiny cries, and two little lives that remind us. Nothing is too hard for the one who gives life.